Hi, my name is John Foy, and I am a sales executive with Cerner Wellness. I would like to thank Blue Cross of Idaho for the opportunity to participate in your RFP for wellness tools. This is the first of three 15-minute video demonstrations as a component of the RFP. The first demonstration will be of a member workflow or member experience in their portal and wellness engagement. The second will be of our coaching portal and the relationship and enhancement of value that coaches can provide to members and the enhanced accountability to members. So the second will be a demo of the coaching portal. And last will be a demonstration of our administrative portal. Let me introduce you to Christine Miller. Any wellness engagement is critical that each individual participant finds it meaningful and engaging to them. So for today's journey, our participant is going to be Christine Miller. Christine is an employee at Boise State University. She's obviously insured via Blue Cross Idaho and is a member of your Well-Connected wellness program. She's 43 years old, is in the engineering department as a classified employee. She's been there for 8.5 years, is married with 2 teenage daughters. And all the joys and stresses and really busy lifestyle that comes with that. And it's really an important consideration to our demonstration today. Because how do we help Christine? How do we use our technology to engage Christine? How do we use our technology to ultimately get Christine to change her behaviors? Well, really one thing we do is we help keep her on track. We automate a lot of the processes and delivery of content and resources to Christine. And we remind Christine about each of the steps that she needs to take. And that's all done in an automated fashion. Now the workflow that we're going to demonstrate today is that Christine recently attended a health fair at Boise State. And at the health fair, she completed our health assessment with our iPad application. In addition, she had her blood drawn for her biometric screenings, and we'll be looking at the results of that and the email that is automatically delivered to Christine when all that gets incorporated into the portal and how she begins that wellness journey. She exhibited a weight of 160 with a goal defined as 145. Had a slightly elevated blood pressure of 138/90, and has exhibited a risk for nutrition and exercise. Now, some key differentiators of the Cerner Wellness Solution, as well as a roadmap for our journey today. First of all, the health assessment. Our health assessment is NCQA certified. It is customizable. It consists of about 45 questions. It's written at the 6th grade reading level. You have the ability to turn on and off some sections. The NCQA accreditation means a couple things. Obviously, it means something different to Blue Cross Idaho than it does to a participant or an employer. To Blue Cross Idaho, it means that you can seek your accreditation as a component of using our health assessment that has NCQA certification. What it means to Boise State and Christine is that it's a validated tool that has really passed a rigorous review, so a high bar in terms of its quality. We're then going to look at our risk advisor, and our risk advisor is where Cerner Wellness really separates itself from the field. We use the risk advisor to direct participants like Christine to specific content, digital coaching content, with workshops that are specific to their risk. So gone are the days of a one-size-fits-all engagement. Everybody starts with the same content and resources. The risk advisor will point Christine to content and digital coaching workshops that are specific to her risks. Then we'll look a little bit deeper at the digital coaching workshops themselves. Our solution comes with 35 multi-week baked-in workshops. Really, the thing to remember here is that our workshops are built slow as you go. So steady, slow pace is going to win the race. They're multi-week. They consist of several tasks each week. We're going to put out a few, but not a lot, to help people keep management appropriate. And they're going to introduce slow, methodical tools. So we won't introduce complicated tools and resources early in the program. We'll introduce them later. So we'll do simple things up front, and then as the time progresses, we'll introduce more complex resources and ideas, and we'll test people all along the way just to make sure they're on track. And the other thing we will do is we'll use the to-do list to help participants like Christine stay on track. In the to-do list, what that does is each week it will load up automatically and let Christine know what needs to be completed. It'll let her know if she's running late on items, and it'll also send her an email or a text message as defined by an administrator to help in that communication, to help keep her on track. And then last but not least, we'll look at coaching integration. And by coaching integration, I mean the visibility that coaches have to Christine as a participant and the visibility that Christine has to coaches as a participant. Our coaching portal will allow coaches to know where Christine is at any given time in her wellness journey. It will allow coaches to send out content and resources based on telephonic experiences that they've had. But it'll also allow coaches from a population health perspective to send out group batches of messages as well. So we'll take a look at that both in the member workflow and in the coaching workflow demonstration. Okay, so now as we transition out to the demo of the portal itself, the workflow we talked about was Christine receiving an email as a result of having participated in the health fair at Boise State. And here is an example of what that email could potentially look like. The important thing is that you're allowed to easily and quickly create this. You get your own branding into it and create very easy, clear, concise messaging for participants. And it's very simple for Christine to begin by clicking on View Risk Advisor. Now, what we have done here is we have pointed Christine directly to a place that we want her to begin to take action. One of the very first things we want her to do, now that her health assessment has been evaluated, now that her biometrics have been brought in, all those things have been brought in, put through a rules engine to identify her risks. So Christine is exhibiting a high risk for nutrition. Her next risk is her blood pressure, and her third risk is her body mass index. And you'll see each of these risks have the ability to have action taken on them right now. Now I'm going to jump out, take a little step back here from a workflow perspective for the demo here, because I want to jump out. This obviously all started with the health assessment itself at the health fair, so I want to take a little look at the health assessment currently, because I know it's an important part of your RFP. And I want to have you to give me at least some perspective of what Christine would have completed via the iPad application at the health fair. So here's a quick look at our health assessment. It consists of about 40 questions. It is written in the 6th grade reading level. It consists of branching logic. It takes about 15 minutes to complete. You have the ability to jump from section to section. You can turn on and off some sections. And again, it's NCQA certified. Now, a common question is, can we add our own questions to the health assessment? And the answer to that really is yes and no. We cannot go back to the NCQA each time one of our 2,500 current customers comes to us and wants to add their own questions to it. But we also understand that an important component is that you do indeed need to ask questions as associated with your local markets. You may be even asking some questions in northern Idaho, additional questions that you wouldn't necessarily ask in the Boise area or metropolitan or rural, or however your membership population is broken down or you roll out to employers. So how we help you get through that is that we provide a survey tool. So the survey tool itself allows you to create surveys, and you can attach them to health assessments to capture any other additional information you may want to have associated with that members and their health risk. Now, we're going to go back to the risk advisor because that's where we really wanted Christine to land on her experience. We're going to have her take action simply by clicking the button, and you'll see that we're going to suggest that Christine enroll in the Blue Cross Idaho Well-Connected Nutrition Workshop. I created this workshop, but really what I want to show you here is that you have the ability to triage content and resources to participants. You can do that in conjunction with the employer. So maybe say that Boise State really wanted to start with nutrition on everybody. So regardless of what their risk might have been, maybe it was a high blood pressure risk, and we wanted Christine to start with nutrition as well. But in this case, we're looking specifically at her nutrition risk, and we're going to enroll her in the Well-Connected Nutrition Workshop. So what will happen now is when Christine goes back out to her landing page, you will see that she has a to-do list on her main screen. And the to-do list is a very important component of the wellness solution from Cerner because it helps Christine keep track of where she is. So again, it's engaging to Christine in terms of its really an overall portal look, its feel, its colors, etc. But the to-do list keeps her on track. She's a busy mother, she's a professional, she's got community obligations, and she does want to take care of herself. But how does she keep all those things balanced? And we do that with the to-do list. Now the other thing that we want to look at here as we begin to go through the to-do list is a workshop itself and the component of our digital workshops. Again, 35 baked-in digital workshops. You can use them completely off the shelf. They're multi-week, or you can easily modify them or completely create your own from scratch as you see fit. So in this case, I have taken an off-the-shelf nutrition workshop and I've adapted it for the Well Connected program. And I've done that for two reasons. One, I really just wanted to show you the ability to do that. But secondly, I wanted to show you the real feature and the real benefit to Christine of that is that it can be in a manner that's very relative to her. So one of the first steps that I have here is an introduction to a Well Connected workshop. And so this could be a simple piece of content from BCI. So in this case, I have taken one of your quarterly newsletters and simply adapted it to introduce a digital coaching workshop and the idea of digital coaching workshops in a new year to a participant like Christine. And you can see I've got it branded to both Well Connected and perhaps the key client in Boise. Now remember, our workshops are multi-week and they're really about slow, steady progress. So slow and steady is going to win the race. So it's week one of a workshop. We're going to introduce very simple tasks and ideas to Christine in week one, and they could easily get much more robust and demanding as the weeks go on, but not too demanding because we want to keep Christine engaged. So it's slow, steady progress. So how we do that is we use things like HealthWise video. So in this case, a HealthWise video about healthy eating. 5 simple things.
Use whole grain instead of white bread. Use skim or 1% milk instead of whole or 2% milk. Have fruits and vegetables for snacks. Eat fish twice a week or eat a bean dish. Add lettuce, tomato, and cucumber to sandwiches, or add fruit to whole grain cereal.
So that's just an example of one piece of HealthWise content, but it's also an example of our approach from the digital coaching workshops. Week one, simple concepts that Christine can understand, Christine can adapt, Christine can change behaviors based on that. Another example is Log Your Foods worksheet. So we obviously have food tracking as a part of the portal, as a part of our mobile tools. But remember, this is Christine's new to this, and so what we're going to do is we're going to slowly introduce Christine to tracking her food in week one. We're going to simply say to Christine, if you choose, print out this, and just start keeping track of some of your days, some of your meals, just to get in the habit of thinking about logging your food. And then in week 2, we may introduce, or in week 3, we may introduce the tool itself from with the portal and her mobile device, and Christine can become much more engaged in her food tracking. Very same simple thing here, creating a healthy plate as an example of slow, steady progress. We're going to ask Christine to take a look at her pantry. So in week 1, we're going to say, hey Christine, just step in your pantry. Take a look around the pantry. Here's a list of some healthy foods. Here's a list of some healthy foods. Maybe move them from one side of the pantry to the other side of the pantry. We're not asking you to stop eating them. We're really asking you just to understand what they might be. And then in week 2, we could simply say, Christine, now we want you to remove the unhealthy things. In week 3, it might be something like when you go to the store, we want you to create a shopping list that only looks at health. One other thing here is replace soda or juice with water. Another simple, easily to adapt thing in week 1. We may not have her start tracking water until subsequent weeks, but importantly, it's that slow, steady progress theme of all our digital coaching workshops. And the last item that Christine is doing as a component of her workshop is the ability to talk to a dietitian. Now, I've added this in for 2 reasons. I wanted to show you that you could indeed link the ability to put together coaches and participants from within a digital coaching workshop if you so choose. And the second reason is I wanted to begin to introduce the visibility that will exist between coaches and participants in this demo. So let's say that Christine has gotten through this first week of her digital coaching workshop on nutrition, and she does want to learn a little bit more. She's going to reach out for a coach. She wants a meal plan, perhaps. So let's say she's just going to ask about a meal plan. And can simply send that message to the coach. And then we will look at that in the coaching demo as well. which is shortly. So we've looked at a number of things. We've looked at the health assessment and its into accreditation and how it identifies risks and helps Christine act on those risks. The risk advisor will take her to specific actions and digital coaching resources. We've looked at our digital coaching workshops, and we've looked at the to-do list. And you'll see now that Christine has completed all these tasks, they're no longer on the to-do list, but she will have a whole list of things to do next week, a few items as a component of the continuing week 2 of the 6-week digital coaching workshop. So that concludes the member experience, and I will be back with you shortly as we look at the coaching workflow.